in downtown Minneapolis. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the Cleveland Browns taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Ray Joseph now ready to get this one started, and we are underway from Minneapolis. Here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard forced out to his left. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
Fuck yeah, it was. Fuck that dude. No way.
First play, second down. Now Watson rolling to his left. And that is incomplete.
That's absolutely going to fire this defense up.
That was democracy. Yeah, I got more records in the KGB. So, next on the business.
Third play here this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Here's Watson. Steps away to his left. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
On 1st and 10, Watson buying time to his left. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
Dude, late hit all game. Late hits.
Tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 70 yards. An excellent game, 35 yards.
We need they want the biggest on the neck, bitch. Go wait inside the magic. I got chip on my step. Nigga, I was really young with 30 and I woke up in the jet. Ain't no God, no nigga. I'm just like I'm demon. I'm shopping at me, balling every season.
Now we'll play fake and it's Watson.
All they know is that I gotta bring it to movies on my shoes. And I'm like, by the truth. First time in the G,
Watson and his arsenal.
BB ice cream, I didn't even have to smoke. Got the whole still I said and I was stepping so it's baby, looking at my neck. Yeah, I was now I'm in the jet. Protect the shield, sitting on this thing, my baby, bitches on that shield. I don't want to let me anywhere, but a record deal. I got my me, between I've been rocking, all these sounds on me. Bitch, I'm so right up,
Opening drive, Charles, pretty balanced, and the passing game going and the rushing attack too.
To be happy with this start because you get your ground game going, which means you're always one and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your air attack going as well. Quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now up to speed, awaiting the down and out. There he goes. He's past the 30.
20 bands on me, can't even fit this. I don't niggas know what she on me. Waiting her.
So I see your 3 points.
Yeah, I was
6. Double it up, coming right back at him. If that's going to be the trade all game long,
sitting on this game, my baby, it's on that
Ray Joseph on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So Let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. To throw is Watson. That's out to Chubb, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
It's your anniversary, is it?
First carry for Nick Chubb. And he'll work down inside the 45. Second down and 6 now. And again, it's Chubb. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. A heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he appears to be 2 feet short. 3rd and 3. More 4th and running for it. Here's Chubb. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. They'll try the air now with Watson. He's going to drop this one down for Chubb. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. On first down, it's Watson. Dancing to his left. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took his defense game, put together a solid game to bring up 2nd down. Then have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards, and he set it down.
Spend his money, got no money. More
That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. This will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. From the 4, this is 2nd down and 1. The handoff to Ford up the middle. And he's in. Touchdown. Wow. Ford taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Browns are once again back in front. He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was, and when you mention the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
And that is caught for the 2 points. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes can prove risky there. It worked out.
Yeah, and I love you bring up that can prove risky because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
No longer now for his end zone. A dangerous return is shown in here. Still going past the 30. And they'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Again, I'm getting fired up. 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns in the same game. This is fun.
We call a lot of games in a lot of different places. Sometimes it seems like we do it simultaneously, but we rarely get to see this. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that gives him a 3-point lead. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Cleveland offense ready to go. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. They run it again with Chubb. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. And Chubb will try the middle here. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Back to throw, Watson. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 23. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. On first down, Watson being chased out, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They go up the middle with Chubb. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, a 16-yard touchdown run. And the Browns have yet again retaken the lead. Well, they were looking to pick up the first down on 3rd and short. They got a little more than they bargained for, finding the end zone as well.
And oftentimes in short yardage situations, you get a lot of defenders stacked near the line of scrimmage, partners. So if you can get past that first wave, there's usually room to roam, and he found it.
It's complete, and this will be caught as they convert here for 2. And, of course, on the 2-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Cousins of the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll start on the ground with Madison. Nice his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Shut up.
It's your job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
On 3rd down, Cousins. That's down the field for Jefferson. And this ball will be intercepted. Picked up by Greg Newsome. And the Browns are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball out there trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. That ball needs to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
Watson now to throw.
Oh, come on, he's fired. Fucking fired.
I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
Yeah.
An incomplete pass on second down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. Watson, off play action. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Watson. Escaping the pressure right. What was he thinking there? It's easily intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Excellent play there, CD, on the pick six. And I think were they in nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick six.
Joseph now to have the PAT. And the lead is now 2.
Yeah.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Browns' drive about to get started. Fresh off the pick six, it's Watson. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Watson. And his throw here is incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he's going to have a Browns 1st down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
Hike the fucking ball.
I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
From the 50, it's Watson. Forced out to his left.
Somebody, anybody.
And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20. Now a 1st down throw. Watson steps away to his left. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield.
He ain't going nowhere.
The shreds of defense.
Better take a field goal.
He thought to himself, I'm a quarterback. I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
Got him.
Early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in this 2nd quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a 2nd one.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Play action now. Cousins. It got his man complete. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's Madison running left. 20. Now he's loose down the left sideline. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Here's a give to Madison running right. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Going to run with Madison again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Here's Akers. They try and run. Calling no gain on the play, so no help there. And now 4th and goal. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The kick by Joseph is good, and that will push the lead up to 5. So they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Watson buying. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
Normally we think about big swings and scores before a half. We think offense, but this time their defense made the play. Instant pressure off the snap, and they weren't going to let him find a way to escape.
This is fielded at the 7. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Cousins to the throw here, caught by Addison. A gain of 5, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. Route running savvy and toughness.
Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. And that is going to tie our game
Shut up.
as we approach halftime. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled in the booth ready for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all time on the scoreboard. And it takes this near to 25, just a little pass there, call it to 26. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This offense ready for the first drive of the third quarter. Well, quarters number 1 and 2 entertaining. We saw some good offense points put up, Charles, and all tied on the scoreboard.
And it sets us up for what could be a really fun second half because we've seen both sides score almost at will here in the first half. And now, here in the second half, getting the ball first, you've got to think, hey, we can go out and really run our offense the way we did in the first half. But if I'm a defensive player, all I'm thinking is, can I make a play to really help out my team and break this streak of offense?
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Throwing, Cousins. Flush to his right. He'll let this go for the end zone. The flag comes in, it's incomplete, and I'm not sure he was still behind the line when he let that one go. So the illegal forward pass also cost him a down, and now it's 2nd and long. Play fake, Cousins. Making the catch, this is the tight end, Oliver. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 13-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed in the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Another carry now for Madison. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
4th down, field goal try coming, so Cousins is off, and on comes Greg Joseph from Minnesota. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Joseph's got it. So add 3, all told, after the safety, it's a 5-point swing, but that could have turned out much worse.
But you don't want to say no harm, no foul, but I do believe you're right. A 9-point swing hurts. 5 points, much more manageable, especially in a tight game like this.
Joseph now to kick this one away. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And they find themselves down on the scoreboard following the field goal a moment ago.
And I think even though they trail in the game now, I would consider that a win for their defense, and that's probably what they're telling the offense when they get to the bench. Hey, the onus is on you guys now. Get back out there and get us the lead back.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. A give running right is Chubb, and he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now Chubb running right. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Handoff comes to Chubb. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. Here's Watson. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end Njoku. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Watson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 32-yard line. Now it's Watson. A bootleg.
Fumble? Where's the fumble, bro? You fucking son of a bitch. That already get popped out. That shit came popped out. Don't even, bro. You know damn well it popped out.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
Yeah, even Sparkle says that was a fumble. It's bullshit.
Coming up, they got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. 3rd and 2, Watson. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field. He took away his intended read. And almost teared the trapper has got out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. On the ground with a tight end. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. And now they're in the hurry-up. They hand off to their big tight end. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 2nd and 5. They're going to run this with a tight end. Still a couple yards short of the 1st as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. Faking the give. Now Watson. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back around the 18-yard line. Marcus Davenport able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Hopkins' kick is good. And we are all tied at 29. So matching field goals here to begin this 3rd quarter of play, and we are tied again.
And this is how it's been all game long. Very much like a boxing match. Each team counter-punching each other. Neither gaining a clear advantage.
And he returns this to the 22. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get a big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. So it's a quarter that saw these two teams trade field goals here as we've reached the end of 3 quarters of play. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Cousins throwing quickly out for Jefferson. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Here's Cousins. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot him at the 44. A pair of first downs gives him a first and 10 up at the 44. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And it gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down.
Offense is moving a little bit, have them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Here's second and 10. To the air again, it's Cousins. They'll find Osborne here. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 20-yard line. They'll go Madison up the middle. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
The first down run got 5. Here's second and 5. Now a give to Madison. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a third down and 6. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. The kick by Joseph is good, and they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from home.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
On the return from his end zone is Grant. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. And quickly they get to the line. On second down, here's Watson. And his throw is incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it, and oftentimes knock it away.
Watson now to throw. And this is caught. He hits more. And out across midfield down to the 45. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. A give. This is Chubb. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Down the right sideline. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Browns have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. And it's no good.
Oh, God.
Critical miss here in a one-score game in the fourth. Boy, tight game like this, fourth quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high. The tensions are the same. Who can control?
What is wrong going on here?
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. And the offense moving quickly to the line. They go play action. Cousins. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Picked off by Greg Newsome. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. They run it again with Chubb. And he's going to be stopped just short of the first down marker at the Vikings 23. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. They go up the middle with Chubb. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Browns are able to build on to their fourth quarter lead. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Browns are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
They'll come up now on second down. On play action, Cousins. Open man is Osborne. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Well, there's still hope, but it's dwindling fast. No timeouts left. They need 2 scores still. 1st and 10 here. Cousins to throw. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted.
Oh, no, he didn't.
That should do it. Picked off by Juan Thornhill. And the Browns are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
And Watson's going to throw it here. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. Watson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Steps away. And even though he gets out of bounds to stop the clock, it's not going to matter. That 1st down going to be enough to write a finish to this one. Now Watson, eluding the pressure right. And that is 10. Oh, no, he lost the football. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
That's one of those mistakes. That's a fumble that when they get to the sidelines, I know you're mad, coach, but look, we still got this locked down. But that's not necessarily true, is it?
No, their hopes are slim, but you just hate to give them any hope. You could have sealed it right there.
Yeah, could have finished them off and taken away all hope, as we like to say.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. Inside a minute to go. Here's 2nd and 10 now. Cousins.
See, you idiot. Bullshit.
In the end zone. And he takes this.
No, he didn't. I'm done.
The Browns defense has a touchdown.
Singing it all, Sparkles.
And the big
That's some
boy, dare I
bullshit.
say, he showed some athleticism there.
Oh, without a doubt. And you know what else we saw on that play? Why they do more and more ball drills in practice. They want everyone proficient with catching the football and being comfortable, because you never know when a big play like this will happen for a big man.
Now, post-game locker room, does he get an extra drumstick?
Hey, he was going to get that anyway. He may get the whole spread now.
Put some gravy on there. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one. Hence the decline.
Cousins on 1st down. And that one drops down, incomplete.
Shut up.
Coverage there forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Cousins. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an issue.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, Vikings. KJ Osborne, 53 yards. And the Vikings have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Joseph on for the extra point. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this will be recovered by the Browns hands team, and that should just about write a finish to this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And the lead will hold at 10. And that miss should just about write a finish to this one.
Yeah, they needed 2 scores, and they needed that field goal there to be the first one and still give them an opportunity. But now, with the time left on the clock, I think this one's about finished.
Over the middle and hauled in by Osborne. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with a clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
Joseph connects on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So the onside kick will come with 17 seconds to play. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. 5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout, but instead they needed every single one of those in this